Sponsored by degenerates like you. What's happening, people? You're listening to your favorite comedy podcast, Comedy by Coincidence. This is episode 133.
Nice.
Yeah. Smoke it. We have a special guest today. We'll get to it. Try not to go too crazy, but you know, if you ever need a ride home, you can call me anytime.
That sounds really familiar.
Maybe not the listeners. Maybe. Who knows? You have my number.
Something tells me it'd be a little bit far for Ty to come get you if you needed a ride home.
Almost done it before. What is happening, everybody? May I say Happy Mother's Day to all the lovely mothers out there. And we actually got a special guest, guys. For the first time ever, we have a female guest on the podcast. We got my mother, Terri.
Hello, everybody.
What's happening? And across
Hello.
the screen, we got my favorite comedian of all time. What's his name?
Rude.
I'm Ty.
Let him introduce himself. I don't know. We haven't figured that part out. We'll get it to roll one day.
Yeah.
You know. But, yeah, we are joined by my mother. And shout out. Thanks for coming on the podcast. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. So we'll see. But
I love this feeling that we're bringing him right now. Just the sheer nervousness.
yeah, everybody's like, oh, my God. It had to be done. And what a brave thing to do. For both of us, probably.
Yeah,
you know?
probably.
So, let's see.
I'm glad we've all chosen matching hair today.
Yeah.
You know, go team.
Absolutely. You know what? We all kind of match you a little bit anyways, right? So the normal kick it, we normally just kick it in the first like 20-ish minutes of the podcast. But to be real, I have not seen Ty in like 2 weeks. So you're coming in at a weird time where I just had a guest episode without Ty last week, which, hey, did you get to see that at all?
No, I've been sorry.
I know you've been busy and sick, so like, I gotta say we hit a new milestone on the podcast. Chris took 200 milligrams with Ryan Schweitzer. You know, that was a trip of a podcast. That was one for the history book. So go watch that if you haven't seen that. That's episode 132. Special guest Ryan Schweitzer, and look at me bringing in new special guests, dude. I told you it would happen. I actually told the audience that last week. We really had to get at least another special guest on this year, so Schweitzer had some competition at all, you know?
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to compete with 200 milligrams of Schweitzer.
Well, you never know. Mother's Day, we might even get some female listeners this episode. Who knows? This might do numbers. Numbies, Mom.
Okay. All right. Sounds like I need more Fireball.
Yep. Please. Hey. Welcome to Chicago. So, Terri Davis, number one mom, next to Miss Ty Young's mom as well. You know, shout out. Probably our Savages of the Week, but we'll see if they've earned it. We'll get there. Probably. I mean, as often as my mom comes to Forgiving Tree shows, I should probably just keep my shit together from the get-go.
It'd probably be more fun for me if you didn't keep your shit together.
All right.
But I mean, I do
we
feel
need to
like
loosen up.
regular attendance at Forgiving Tree shows probably does earn me at least consideration for Savage of the Week.
Absolutely. I do want to say real quick, shout out to Dr. Evil here with us doing the doing making us look good, dotting our I's, crossing our T's, and all that, doing the sound bits. Here.
Hey.
Inspirational.
Sharing a mic with me today. We are off to a grand old start. So I want to start off by saying my mom's the shit. Always supported me. Always supports no matter what dumb idea I do, including this podcast. This is proof of it, by the way. Let's see. Mom, I want to start off by saying, who are like your top couple favorite comedians of all time? We got to get it out there so Ty can digest and understand where you're.
I didn't get the questions ahead of time, people, so.
We didn't get them ahead of time. Don't worry.
Favorite comedians of all time was the question. Classic Eddie Murphy.
I knew that was going to be like one or two.
Yeah, we're talking about from like the Delirious
I knew it.
time period.
Yep.
You knew that?
Yeah.
It's
I
probably
mentioned that was like your favorite comedy show, comedy special growing up. So I've referenced it and then Eddie Murphy's Raw a few times too. So all because of you.
Well, there you
Look
go.
at you go.
There we go. Okay, the guy's name is Jeff, and he's actually a comedian who's a ventriloquist. Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
Really like Jeff Dunham. And goodness.
Respectable names so far. We're doing good.
So yeah, I cannot remember. There's a British woman who's only recently started showing up in Reels on my Instagram and Facebook. I think her name is Sarah Milliken, and she looks like she's probably my age or maybe 10 years younger, somewhere in that range, and she's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
Glasses. Does she have glasses and look like she could bake a cake?
Yes.
Damn. Ty.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He's on it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Just pulled that right out of the air. I'm impressed. But yeah, she's definitely spouts the kind of humor that, a middle-aged married woman can relate to. Just saying.
Rock on.
Nice.
Okay.
And then that's a modern one too. Keeping up with the modern comedians too as they're coming up. That's cool.
Yeah, well, I would add another one, but you've already made fun of me for liking him, so.
No, go ahead. We gotta know.
Matt Rife.
Matt Rife? No, that's okay. We understand.
We understand.
We understand here. We've talked this through. And actually, me and Ty, believe it or not, have supported Matt Rife on an issue or two over his time on this podcast. So,
he's a real comedian who happens to be very beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's way too young for me, so, I like him for his comedy, not for the beauty. Oh, I forgot.
Okay.
My favorite
Oh.
is Trey Crowder. So he calls himself the liberal redneck.
Okay.
And most of his stuff is very political.
Okay.
But, yeah, I do actually like him.
Damn. I wish we'd known. Wish we'd done this sooner because we could have taken her. That would have been fun.
Yeah, he was in town not too long ago, and I tried to get Dad to go with me, but the timing wasn't going to work out because the show was 9 p.m. on a weeknight, and that's just not going to happen with Dad's work schedule.
But if that's ever a case, if it's a comedy show, holler at your boy. Because 9 at least, I'd probably be off by 8 or something.
All right, well, if he comes back through town, you're getting a phone call.
Happy to go. Okay, well, cool. She passed the test, I think. Am I right?
I think so, yeah.
So, cool. You're
Yeah.
cool.
What was the test? I had to name at least 3?
Yeah, you had to just name some cool ones, I don't know.
If you want me to actually spout any of the Eddie Murphy Delirious, you just let me know that, because I've got a lot of that memorized.
Your top 3 weren't like Hannah Gatsby, Amy, what's her fucking name, and
Amy Choke, Steele, and Schumer,
or
Carl's
not
relabeled the
you
race.
know what? No hate at all. But Jesus, we were just seeing where you're at.
All right.
Not that it matters, and support the women comedians all day too. Let me see.
Now, can I? How do we feel about roast comedians like Jeff Ross or a newer one, Tony Hinchcliffe? Let me see here.
I'm
showing
my ignorance.
Kill Tony. That's what's up. We're gonna make my mom a podcast mom before you know it. Don't worry, she's gonna be talking to us about Uncle Joey and Tony Hinchcliffe and the new Brendan Shaw beef.
What's his
in
name?
general, I can say that I do like roast comedy, as long as like somebody who roasts another person.
Yeah.
Is that I'm using it
yeah.
right? Okay, yeah. Generally speaking, I appreciate roast comedy, but I don't know any of the names you mentioned.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Comedy
I'm
Central
trying to think of a couple of the older school ones too.
Famous people. So, God, why were we watching it? We were watching one of the most ancient Comedy Central roasts of all time. Ty, we were watching like the roast of Frank Sinatra.
Oh, some of those old ones are pretty good,
though. It was ridiculously good.
They were like hard on each other.
You know who was funny? This is going to be a tough take. It's going to be a tough take that's unpopular with most people. Ronald Reagan was funny as fuck. He wasn't even like... He was like governor at that time or whatever. He came up there, roasted the shit out of Frank Sinatra. I thought, anyways,
far better than Ben.
I mean, he was an actor. Like that doesn't surprise me that
5-minute roast. All I'm saying. Policies aside.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Reaganomics, but I didn't have any issue with Ronald Reagan himself. Like,
let me see.
I ask because recently the Tom Brady roast dropped on Netflix, and it felt like a real return to actual roasting. So have you had the chance to watch that?
I actually haven't had time. We did cover it a little bit because it was about to happen as we were doing last week's episode. But we have not talked about it at all, and I have not gotten a chance to see it because we were, again, recording the episode last week. That's all good.
Yeah, okay. It's 3 hours long, mind you.
Shit.
Yeah, and it's besides the football guys who talk, it's solid laugh all the way through.
I heard Tony Hinchcliffe's, Nikki Glazer's, like all of the comedians I know and love that were on it, murdered from what I understood. I heard there was a thing with Jeff Ross that like he made a jab about the massage parlor incident thing, and that was the one time, oh my God, Tom Brady broke and was like, hey, don't say that. That's not funny kind of shit. I don't know what was up there. Again, I think watch it.
Personally, that case, I watched it. I watched the play-by-play, and I think Tom Brady saved Jeff Ross's life because that joke was towards Robert Kraft, you know, the billionaire in charge of all the cheese. So, you know, I think that was a life-saving effort. I think that was a Hail Mary throw from the greatest quarterback ever. And I think Jeff Ross is living today because of it.
Because of that. Okay, you know what? Tom Brady, not offended. Tom Brady saving Jeff Ross's life. Okay, that's what's going on. Hey, you heard it here first.
That's what I read, you know.
That's a solid right there. I appreciate it. Do you have any questions for Ty as getting to talk to one-on-one with a traveling comedian?
Where have you most recently done an open mic night?
Nice. I was going to get there.
Oh, that would be at a brewery called the Big Top Brewing Collective in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. It's a place with all right beer. I'll say that. You know, nice. It's like a microbrewery. So, you know, the place just smells like grain.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, it's a giant room and you're over in the corner. The bar has some locals and then the comedians just sit scattered throughout the tables. And you really just go there and watch how far your soul can die. And, you know, if you get somebody to smile, you know it was an all right joke and you can continue with it. And if you hear silence, then it's to be expected, you know.
God, that sounds like a hard crowd.
That is a toughie. He hit some hard ones.
Yeah.
You got to be able to do both. You got to do it all, you know.
Plus, I've noticed, I've been in and out of the Tampa scene so many times that there's like little individual cliques based off of geographic location. So this is like the Sarasota clique type of open mic, so it's like they all have their own weird sense of local humor, and they're trying out their local jokes. And then I come there trying to be more generalized, and they're like, you know. But then I go up to like Tarpon Springs or Port Richey. They have their own little weird clique, and they do their own weird little jokes. And I try to do general stuff, and they're like, you know. It's kind of every area has their own thing, and
it's all different. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, trying to get them to like you just because you're not there every week is a little hard, you know.
Yep.
But it's a challenge, you know, and that's how you get better at the craft anyways, too. So
I'm having literary flashbacks. It's like, okay, so remember I was so Ty, you don't know this, but I was an English major. And there's a period of American literature called American Realism, and half of that time period was all about local color. So like the people would all have to like write about their local cliques essentially and like describe it really well and everything, and it kind of feels like an analogy, like today's comedic American realism is also local color apparently. Look at that. There you go, guys.
A little bit. But especially at like these smaller open mics, the local jokes they don't hear, and it makes them feel special, so it's almost like not that it doesn't work, but it's like cheap candy.
Yeah,
you know what
pandering
I mean?
to the crowd.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But then what Ty does, you know, and this is a glorified way of looking at it too, but okay, if you work through the stuff that doesn't work and make the stuff that got one laugh better every time, you come in there with gold that no matter how general, it is going to get a laugh wherever you go eventually, you know, the more you work it out. So that's why I'm glad you're hit. When was this, and how many open mics have you hit since the last time I seen you? We got to be real about this, my friend.
That was before I got sick, and then I got busy. So that was last week on Thursday.
Okay, good job.
And then I got sick, and then right now, just to being honest, I'm doing this. I'm starting a new series on the podcast. I hope you don't mind, Chris. It's the B&E edition.
Okay.
Breaking and Entering edition. Right now, I am in our favorite viewer's house, Trevor Harrison's house. So you know, if you want to be the next greatest viewer, I will break into your house.
That's awesome.
You're there.
I miss Trevor. Shout out Trevor Harrison. Yeah, I hope you're still listening. I ain't seen your comments in a while, but I want you to know, when you do leave a comment, it means the world to us, bro. Definitely puts a smile on my face. So we love you, bro.
So
you guys should have like a competition to like among your viewers, like who wants their house on the B&E segment.
Be careful, Mom. You might end up.
I mean,
it's okay. I'll just have to.
I am about to do a cross-country road trip, so all possibilities are able. I got a week. You know, we can make something happen.
Okay.
Nice.
Let's see what happens. We might end up doing a podcast in the shed for old time shakes.
Too realistic. Okay, got it.
No, straight up. I'm here with you.
We'll need to make some room in the shed first, buddy.
Oh, I can always do that. Let me see.
Got to move the project he started in 2006 to the side.
Yeah. You've been in our shed before, haven't you? Sure sounds like it.
Know, yeah. I also got tetanus from the rusty nails, so
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It wasn't me.
So I don't know. We could. I do have a little bit of comedy news to talk about, but is there anything else? Any questions? Ty? Do you have any questions for my mom about raising a little Chris?
Ooh, that is wide open.
Okay, this is all right. So, my mom has a story where she loves to say where the day I almost got killed by her. Do you have a story where you wanted, like, it was the closest you've ever gotten to strangling him alive?
Tight.
Well, dead. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
if you don't want to say,
I do.
We can
The answer is yes. I have
I
have a story like that.
The one that really stands out.
Do you know?
No,
do you know?
No, I have no idea. This is tough. This is great. Go for it, dude. Go. I don't know.
All right. It would be the Boy Scout trip to Washington, D.C.
Oh, I've talked about this on the show. I told students at School of Rock this story, too.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I'm fascinated. Now I want to hear the story from your
you go
perspective.
Ahead. You go ahead. I'll tell you. No.
Well, I don't need to say anymore.
I was
apparently.
a jackass. Hey, viewer who has probably never watched this before and is watching this for the first time, enjoy this story that you're hearing for the first time. Go ahead. So I'll start. In Boy Scouts, I got to go a lot of cool places because my parents were awesome and, supported me in things I loved. I enjoyed camping with the boys. You know what I'm saying? So we had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. to see all the sights, have a great time. And I was going with all the boys, dude. But I was probably what age? Like 12, 13?
Yep, right in there.
Perfect age where your mom is like the least cool person in the world. Shout out, you're super cool. That's why you get all the cool posts these days, But I'll let you take it away from there.
Yeah, and I feel like, I tried to be pretty understanding mom. Like, I get, like, it's not cool to hang with your mom when you're 12 or 13-year-old boy. I totally get that. But, like, I was completely ignored by my son.
Do you have any good
on
quotes?
the trip?
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't really. I don't have quotes. But
Yeah.
like, hey, can I offer a shout out?
Yeah, sure.
Like, shout out to Paula Hartman, who was one of like the co-leaders of that troop, because she arranged the whole like itinerary. She got all of our like security clearances so that we could like actually do a tour of the White House.
Not easy.
And stuff like that. So like, shout out to our long ago troop leader, Paula. But yeah, no, it's just like, I mean, I didn't know a lot of the other moms. I knew some of them, but like, it was just kind of a lonely bus ride. It's a good thing I like to read. Let's just say that. Because my kid didn't want to sit anywhere near me, etc.
I punched Sam Hartman that trip on the bus.
Great.
The giant Adam's apple.
Yes.
Well, he said one or two. Well, he actually said something rude about you, and I did punch him. And then, I didn't know you're not supposed to punch somebody in the Adam's apple, so that could have been bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Good.
But
must not have been that bad because I didn't hear about it. So
no.
You
well,
were
Sam,
pretty clear, man.
Sam was a little kind of shit too.
He was.
But his mom loved me, so that's all good. What it is. She did write an Eagle Scout recommendation letter for me. Shout out. Also, Ty's an Eagle Scout. Not to rat on him.
Shout out to both of you.
So
that's an achievement.
It's something, all right. Now,
why is it that most of the Eagle Scouts I know smoke weed? What's up with that? Did we ever talk about that?
Because we're strong followers of tradition, and
y'all probably did a gardening merit badge at some point too.
Damn, look at you coming with jokes.
Now, since you brought up Boy Scouts, they recently came out with a name change decision, eliminating the boys and just doing Scouting America. Do we have thoughts and feelings on this?
Yeah, let's ask my mom first.
Well, I'm all for inclusivity, so I'm good with it. I think it's a great idea. However, I will say I have completely avoided talking about this with my spouse.
Yeah, I bet Dad has some feelings. Well, Dad participated, and Dad is an Eagle Scout too, so he knows just how it is being a Boy Scout, or how those hormones are going at that age. You know what I mean? God forbid. I remember being at some campouts, like a weekend thing, where my whole patrol was like, now if we see one girl, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
who's fighting to talk to her? I'll fight you, man. She's, anyways, if she's a blonde, anyways,
yeah. So, but the thing is, they've already been allowing girls in, so the name change is not indicative. Like, the name change is lagging behind.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, I'm looking towards the future here, and internationally scouting. Other countries have done both genders for years. America's the slow one on that. And I think it's a good move just for merch moving purposes. Honestly, okay. It's a whole new clothing line. It's a whole new accessories.
I'm just thinking scouting pants
considerations into this. You know,
scouting pants are now going to have to come in a curvy model.
Let's be real, they already had to. Yeah.
Husky is not the same thing as curvy.
Okay. Well, sorry.
All the adult female leaders will finally have things that fit them properly, and they don't look like a sack of potatoes. That's just my opinion.
They save scouting by making everybody buy new uniforms. Like
exactly, it's all about the merch. I'm glad we're solving a lot of business inquiries and dilemmas today.
And they have new merch drops every 3 months. They take a tip from Tim Dillon, and it's like.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is tight. Okay, I'm so with this.
See, they're just upgrading their business model to the modern internet, moving stuff business model. I think their slogan is going to be great too. Australia, their slogan is "Venture awaits," and they put on everything, even their condoms. It's great. So it's I'm interested to see what America does.
Do you have a slogan idea?
I'm thinking safety first for the first couple of years. Just do it nice and soft. A general message for everybody.
A soft launch, if you will.
Yeah, soft.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sure, how I feel about Scouting America condoms. Safety first.
Definitely don't be throwing those at the Weeblos. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Because they wee below age. You know what I'm saying? Oh damn. Oh shit. Damn, that fell flat on its ass. Hey, do you have any other questions for my mom about raising young Chris, young cowboy Chris here?
Cowboy Chris used to be little Catholic schoolboy Chris.
Yeah.
Now I've always been intrigued because I was raised Mormon. There's always been some conflict in between the Christian sects and all that. So my main question is because as a Mormon, we all hear rumors of how the nuns are just beating the crap out of the students. Mm-hmm. Did Chris get black eyes? Were you for it, against it? What was his level of school mischief?
Well, by the time Christopher was in,
I only had one nun, and that was
I was gonna say there weren't really very many.
She was a bitch, but
bitch light.
She no physical abuse, just mental warfare. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
She did like Star Trek. She had that going for her.
Yeah, honestly, not the worst of the 6th grade teachers.
So yeah. I mean, I don't think
Mrs. Malls.
Okay.
I don't think any of the religious, any of the nuns there were.
Did you ever get smacked by a nun?
No, but I was a goody two shoes.
Well, right. Okay. My mom went to Catholic school too.
Yeah, I went through 13 years of it. So, yeah, there's
13 years of being a goody two shoes. Damn.
No, I never had any kind of corporal punishment, and I didn't really hear in any of the schools. Nobody ever got slapped with rulers when I was in school. None of that. None of the stories you hear. The worst that I heard, because I was never in her class, was in high school, and this was unintentional. But there was a nun there named Sister Marceline, and she was ancient by the time I got there. She taught science classes, and you did not want to sit in the front row because not only she lisped, but she also spit as she talked. So that unfortunately was the worst I ever heard anybody suffering from a nun.
I've had a college professor who did the same thing, and he always started the class by, "Nobody in the front row again?"
I mean, it'd be different if it was a Gallagher concert and people got splash drapes or whatever.
That would be an awesome science class. You should have known that.
Yeah. Were you smirking at the Gallagher reference? Is that?
It's okay.
It's okay.
I did have one teacher who swore I was retarded. So.
Well, have you been
Mrs. Malls? I'm not.
She did not. She never suggested that you were.
Well, yeah,
retarded.
no teacher's going to use a heavy R word like that. But well, she was pretty old. She might have. And if I was rambunctious, I probably was.
Well, she never suggested you were educably mentally handicapped either.
Okay, well, somebody told me that.
No, you probably.
100%.
I think she felt like you had ADD.
Okay.
Which is not anything to do with developmental slowness.
I'll give it to you. My brain probably ran away with that one, Chief.
Yep, that'd be my guess.
It does that sometimes. Okay. Well, cool. No.
Yeah.
Well, cool. This has been a real fun episode. I know you're a curator of comedy news too, so why don't you help us with this segment? We're gonna do our next segment, which we normally call comedy news.
Okay.
We have a lot to talk about. We did talk about the roast of Tom Brady, which I did want to bring up since me and you did not talk about it last week. Good job covering it with us, my friend over there.
If the like you, I just want to say the highlights real quick.
Yeah.
Every comedian basically got a stand-up ovation except Jeff Ross there a little bit because Tom Brady made it weird for a second. So people didn't know what to do, save their life and, sit down and clap or stand up and risk it. So, Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer did like this dual segment thing. That was real fun. Comparing Brady to Hitler. Check it out. And then, honestly, the hardest roast of the night was Tony Hinchcliffe. Like that, if you want to look at the classic roasting style of just hitting anybody who ever talked or was on camera, Tony Hinchcliffe, like that. Delivered. 10 out of 10, solid park. Everybody groaned during it, but it was so fucking funny.
Well, that's kind of his shtick with Kill Tony. You know what I mean? He's had the ages to work it up. So, good job watching it. 3 hours, it's a long watch, but definitely well worth it if you're a sports fan. And here's the deal. I don't know any of the football players who were roasting. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't know about Tom Brady, right? But, like, I don't know who Cassius Morris is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who. And that people who are sports fans are going to be like, what did he just say? I don't know, I know my man Contreras just got injured, and that's what I know. And things are not good for the Cardinals this season.
No. Sad.
Yeah, rip the Cardinals, rip the, what's his name, Marmol?
Yeah, Ollie Marmol.
Yeah, the freaking manager right now. He is like the least liked person in all of St. Louis right now, my friend. Whew. I would not want to be him.
I do wonder, do sports team managers ever seriously consider investing a bulletproof car?
Yes.
I think that would be like standard, especially in Philly. Just
Philly. Oh, but this season's been pretty tough, and I'm not even a huge Cards fan. I'm disappointed for the fellas. You know what I'm saying? But just ordinary people who I never hear talk about the Cardinals are like, hey, fuck Marmol. And we're like, whoa, dude. Chill out. Okay.
Yeah. One wonders how long it'll be before they entice Yachty back to be manager.
That'd be sick.
Right?
That would be sick. I'm talking about somebody who's been there so long and knows what works and what doesn't, right?
Yeah.
Why is my mom not making decisions for the Cardinals? Come on, people. Obviously. Come on.
I clearly do not know my reputation as the shit master.
Ty, you got anything else on the roast you want to bring up?
Their stage set design was atrocious, and they need to reconsider that, and that's about it.
Holler at tyyoungtechnical@gmail.com for all your set design needs, people. Hey, there we go. Hey, Dr. Evil, especially since you ain't had a mic, I want you to do one of these stories. Which one would you like? I don't know. Why don't you do Florida Man? Okay. I want to start off on a sad note, so hopefully we can work our way up and not do the opposite again, Rudy Moreno, godfather of Latino comedy, dies at 66 following hospitalization. Rudy Moreno, longtime Comedy Store resident, friend and mentor to Joey Diaz. That's what I'm reporting on. I'm sure my Uncle Joey's hurting right now, man. But Moreno died Friday evening following recent hospitalization. They aren't. Oh, it looks like he was suffering from pneumonia and kidney failure in the days leading up to his death. Damn, dude. Damn. So, yeah. Rest in peace, Rudy Moreno, dude. All right, we got to work our way up. Do you have any sad news we got to get out of the way, too? Rudy Moreno, rest in peace.
No right. Sad news on this end.
There's a death one in the sequence you sent me? Yeah. Which one? It might not. It did not come through. I gotta... legendary comedian known as funniest man in America dies at 78. James Gregory.
Don Rickles. That's who it was.
Comedy legend James Gregory died Wednesday, May 8th at the age of 78. Gregory died from cardiac complications. That's about the gist of... I don't recognize the name, though. I recognize the face, so I'm just trying to see what he was in. Often considered a Southern comedian, Gregory never used the term in his performances, was known for bringing his down-home, common sense of humor across the country. RIP. Okay. They don't post any credits, dude. What's up with that? Hey, if we go, they're going to definitely list this bitch. And I'm proud of that. Yo, virtual high five, my friend. Yeah?
Yeah, except the camera is slow.
Just like, I love you. I love you. Okay. All right, I got one. Dr. Evil, I want to credit her at finding all of these because she did our homework this week, guys. Shout out Dr. Evil for, again, making us look good. I like hitting you guys with some funny St. Louis news. If something's funny, we got to talk about it, okay? So, stealing phone lines becoming a new trend in St. Louis. And I'm not talking about stealing your home phone number. You know what I mean? I'm talking... Authorities are saying a trend in St. Louis can put everyone at risk when an emergency strikes. Allegedly, thieves are climbing utility poles and stealing phone lines. St. Louis police report at least 5 cases in the past 10 days. A city worker tells Fox 2 that it's worse than that. He's seeing evidence of the theft everywhere he goes. Police arrested 2 suspects in the most recent case Thursday for damage to critical infrastructure, knowingly burning and stealing. Thieves allegedly cut the black wire casing to hold a nest of ultrafine copper wires, which delivers phone signals to homes and businesses. Police say suspects burn away the multicolored insulation from those ultrafine copper wires, then sell the wires for scrap. Tremendous.
Yep. Awesome.
So,
so they're just stealing the actual wire. They're not stealing a phone number.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. They're using ladders and taking down the phone lines outside between.
These thieves are idiots.
How are they not dead? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Jesus Christ.
I mean, that's a high-powered situation with, powered things around them, and then they got to take it down from the sky when there's giant spools of it on construction sites.
I've seen the plastic stuff, casings, just littering the alleys, one resident said. I didn't know they were getting them off the high-tension wires. That's crazy. I wouldn't know the difference from the live electric wires or the phone wires. What if you go touch the wrong ones? Man, there isn't enough money in the world. I love when they get a good down-to-earth person's quote in here. It always makes me laugh. Okay, well, So there you have it, people. Watch out. They're stealing phone lines. I'm not talking about your phone number. I'm talking your
actual lines.
Phone lines. That's wild. Also, just so my mother knows, hey, STLPD has been like running into everything this past year.
Nice. That does not surprise me.
No, seriously.
It's quite the, and the city's quite diverse. So
they covered up an STL police officer running into a Presbyterian church's like front.
Oh, I heard that story.
Historic sign and covered it up for like 4 months.
Yeah.
And it took the neighbor coming to the church with a
ring video, wasn't it?
Ring video and sending it to the mayor for anything to get done about it. It was terrible. Anyways, so there's that. Dr. Evil, can you take us away on the news here?
Yeah, I'll give you the Florida man one real quick. So, basically, we have a Florida man who was working on a boat in the Bahamas. They docked in a marina, and he fell in, and he's okay. But I got a couple direct quotes here. He is quoted as saying, "You don't feel the teeth going in," as the first of two big quotes that I wanted to say. The other one being, he said after the adrenaline wore off, he began to feel a lot of pain, telling his captain, quote, "Hey, man, like, I really don't want to die right now. Like, this ain't it." And that's where the direct quote ends.
How stoned was he?
So that's our Florida man.
Does it say what had the teeth that he felt?
Sharks.
Okay.
Sharks.
I missed that part.
That's okay.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, see, Florida man will fuck with alligators, snakes, and everything, but we always lose to sharks. I don't understand it.
Right, it's not in your MO.
Yeah,
you practice all day for the gators, and
it sounds like all things swamp are in your wheelhouse, but ocean not so much. Did you just see the look on Christopher's face? He's like, "Shit, my mom just said that."
No, I think he's thinking, "Shit, my mom's funnier than me."
No, sometimes I'll laugh, but I straight up did not listen.
Yeah,
that was one of those examples. So.
Good job.
Ty knows more than anybody. It happens. Yes, let's see what it says.
Own little world sometimes.
It does happen, honestly. I'm sorry. It's me as your co-host, and I apologize. It's one of my downsides. Jerry Seinfeld apologizes for saying Howard Stern lacks comedy chops, has been outflanked by comedians with podcasts. Wow, that's like the most real thing I've heard from Jerry Seinfeld in a while. Jerry Seinfeld has apologized to Howard Stern for comments he made about the radio personality in a recent podcast interview, including that Stern lacked comedy chops. "I really feel bad for what I said about my friend Howard Stern in a conversation with David Spade and David McCarvey talking about the glut of comedy podcast." The glut? How would you pronounce that?
Glut.
I'm on it. He told TMZ, referring to his appearance on Carvey and Spade's Fly on the Wall podcast.
Ooh, that sounds like it'd be good. Dana Carvey and who was the other?
David Spade. You'd love David.
Yeah.
Tommy Boy
and church lady.
Yeah.
Dana Carvey, the church lady. That's where Grandma got the nickname.
Really?
Did you not know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
From like
Saturday Night Live.
World Boys. Yeah.
Yeah. So my mom in our family has the nickname the church lady because she does spend quite a lot of time there. But yeah, it was my cousin Tom who, after seeing the church lady episodes on Saturday Night Live, was like, "Aunt Carol." So yeah, that's how she got that nickname.
I gotcha. Okay, well,
to be fair though, she never did ask anybody if it could be Satan.
That's all the news I got. I'm out of STL news too.
Didn't Jerry? I mean, was whatever his name? It's not Jerry Springer. Jerry Springfield.
Seinfeld.
The guy Seinfeld. Thank you.
Yeah.
Didn't he just? Is he the one that did the Sausage Party movie? No.
Sausage Party and I think Sausage Party 2 was Seth Rogen for sure. Maybe it was when he was still friends with James Franco.
So then it's definitely not Seinfeld. All right. I thought he just recently put out some food movie or whatever.
I do think he just put out a movie. I do think he's in a fairly recent.
No, I think you're right. Yes, he's in a movie, but I don't think it's like necessarily a comedy. Like for Seinfeld, it was like a relatively serious role. So, let's see.
Interesting.
Let's investigate. This is what we do on this podcast. We get down to the bottom of it. Seinfeld movie? Unfrosted. Yes, that's the thing. It's a Pop-Tart documentary. It is a comedy.
Did we need a documentary on Pop-Tarts?
In 1963, Kellogg's and Post's sworn cereal rivals raced to create a pastry that will forever change the face of breakfast forever. I think I added the forever twice. 5.6 out of 10 on IMDb so far. Damn, it was released on the 3rd, so this was 2 Fridays ago. Okay.
Yeah, very recent.
Alrighty. Well, I'm definitely not popping out of my seat to watch that. So.
One could say it would be a popumentary.
All right. Crazy question. What's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor? It's aimed at everybody. So, for me, favorite Pop-Tart flavor? Right now, I got to say blueberry. All time, though, probably brown sugar, cinnamon. Anyone?
For me, it would depend on the purpose. So if I'm eating it like as a breakfast substitute, frosted cherry.
Right on. That's a solid choice.
If I'm eating it because I just wanted something sweet, more like a desserty thing, frosted fudge.
Yeah, the double chocolate.
Yep.
Yeah. How about you, Tyson?
I like the birthday cake one because it's good as a throwing star. I like the chocolate one because if you wet it up and mush it up, it makes a pretty good substitute fake turd. I don't eat Pop-Tarts, so I'm just...
He doesn't eat Pop-Tarts, okay.
Air is my favorite flavor,
Damn Pop-Tart hater. Which do you like, Little Debbie? You're like the Little Debbie guy.
I'm a Little Debbie guy. I will defend Little Debbie till my dying day. It's just that Pop-Tarts is like that weird in-between, like, I want to have cake for breakfast, but I need to feel good about it. And I'd rather just open up a tub of icing and just go straight to the devil. Damn. Like, I'm going to go all the way. That's how I operate.
Okay.
So, I'm going to ask what might be a controversial question. Is that okay?
Sure, that's cool.
Where do y'all stand on the comedy of Bill Cosby?
I mean, I definitely enjoyed it before
all the reality came out.
Stuff, like I definitely watched the Cosby Show and then watched several of his specials. Whichever one had the toilet.
Yes,
is the one I remember the most. But
well, because Ty saying that about Pop-Tarts and cake, naturally comes to mind the Bill Cosby bit about Dad is great. Gives us the chocolate cake. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think we have similar views. Like the comedy, the historic value of the comedy is good.
If the stuff had never happened, he probably would have made your top 3.
Probably. Probably.
So
I mean, that's a separating the art from the artist deal. Because R. Kelly also did some horrible stuff, but I Believe I Can Fly was my high school anthem, so I'm kind of conflicted on that.
Right.
Bill Cosby is a shining example of like the clean comedy. Besides
he was rude and shitty to other comedians that were dirty comics, and high horsed them, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The ego and telling them what they need to do, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
shut up, you dirty old man.
Meanwhile, he's doing that shit, So
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
Kind of hypocritical. Yeah, I mean, I was a child of the '80s, so separating the art from the artist, like the
you
entire
guys had
era
Michael
of Michael
Jackson.
Jackson. Yeah.
Bill Cosby. What'd you say? What'd you say?
I thought you were just naming famous artists in general.
No, that are accused of
Terrible things.
terrible, heinous things. What? Don't talk about Prince that way.
I mean,
What do you
Billy
mean?
Crystal.
Prince did what? You ever heard that about Prince?
I have
I
not.
have never heard that about. Do
No.
not talk about Prince that way.
As a child, I heard very
I'm sorry,
confusing
no.
things about Rod Stewart, but no.
This is all just a bit, by the way. Sorry, just in case.
We've moved into music though, and not comedy
Wait, you
quite
said
as
Rod
much.
Stewart did
I
this?
did say that.
Okay, well, of those rock stars, nobody was worse than Led Zeppelin. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, I do have to separate the art from the artist on that
Yeah.
one. That's pretty tough. But yeah, all those David Bowie for sure, heinous shit too. And that's one thing I don't get about people who are like having this David Bowie comeback go on. But every time I hate on artists like this, we lose listeners.
No, don't
so you
do that.
can't do
Don't.
that,
Yeah,
right?
and this is not a music podcast or
Well, it can
music
be
critique.
sometimes, but
podcast. So I was just curious.
David Bowie's all right. He's got his hits. You know, he's got the ones I like. And if I don't like something music-wise, I hope the audience realizes that we're at a point, especially in my life, where I'm like, I might not like some sort of music, but I really respect that you like them and the work it took for that artist to get where they are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
She doesn't care if I think that what I think. You
Or
know
they.
What I'm saying?
Or
Exactly.
they. Yeah.
Cloud doesn't give a shit if I, think my thought because they got the payday. You know what I mean? And we're here shooting another 133rd episode of Comedy by Coincidence for you guys. We love you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. It's been a fun episode.
Yeah, I've had a great time.
I'm out of comedy news. Does anybody else have anything to bring to the table? Doing good?
If you guys talked about it on a prior episode, then just tell me that, and that's cool. But, like, any opinions about Colin Jost at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and whether or not he was any good in that? Okay.
Colin is
Sorry. I can do physical bits too. I'm good.
to
Okay.
put this delicately. He was their only choice.
Okay.
Because he's on SNL, know, so he has that TV credit of everybody will know who he is. He does relatively clean comedy, and he's going to kind of keep it away from the politics because that's
A shit
what
show.
that's what he does for stand up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's the comedy equivalent, and I'm sorry for being dirty, of a circle jerk. It's just everybody there shaking their hands, saying, "Yeah, we did a good job today,"
Yeah.
and then go back to lying the next day. It used to be you could make fun of the president, and now you gotta be nice, and it's supposed to be a roast of the president.
Yeah, I was going to ask in the vein of the whole roast genre. That's why I brought it up.
There's your Comedy Central roast, and then there's your C-SPAN roast. You know
Yeah,
what I
of
mean?
course,
There's
of course.
Yeah,
Not the same
Any
thing at all.
comedian will tell you got to know your audience too, right?
Yeah,
You
of
know
course.
What I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So,
it's I want to say Obama, not to blame him for more of our problems, but Obama kind of ruined it because one year during the correspondent dinner, he ordered somebody's murder, Osama bin Laden, and that kind of puts an offset taste into comedy.
Yeah, I would
I
say that
will
would
say,
bring
to
things
his
down.
Credit though, didn't he do the one White House Correspondents' Dinner? It was either I think it might have been his last one, where he had Keegan Michael Key,
Luther, the anger
his
translator.
come up and do.
Yes.
I lost my shit and was laughing the whole time for that. That was funny. Because that was always a bit on Key and Peele, and they made it reality for his last term. That was cool. I enjoyed that.
I did enjoy that as well.
I need an anger translator sometimes too.
No, you're just as hilarious as you are. It's good.
You
You're
just
fine.
let it happen, okay?
Just let it happen.
No, Chris Anger need no translator. You know what I mean? It's loud and clear.
I've never had difficulty understanding your anger. There you go.
Tyson, do you want to do Savage of the Week this week?
Savage of the Week obviously is going to the mothers. Now, if we had to choose your mom versus my mom, your mom.
You don't have to choose.
It's not a choice.
No.
You don't have to choose.
No.
We're going to do both.
No choice.
All right, so it's obviously both of our mothers then, and that's it. Because all my other jokes are a little graphic for this episode, so we're gonna just say congratulations, you're the Savage of the Week for many reasons, and yeah.
And special shout out and runners up Savage of the Week. Any good mothers out there giving it their 100%, looking out and loving their kids, you know what I'm saying? So, especially if you're fans of this podcast, we love you. Way to go. Keep being savages yourselves, you know? Thanks for being on this podcast. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Got anything else, guys? Anything we need to say? Oh, this will be coming out way before, so I want to say this Friday, May 17th, Forgiving Tree is playing at Heavy Anchor with the Winks and Native State for another round of rock and roll night. Okay, make sure you come out for that, because who knows? Who knows how many of these things there's going to be, right? You know what I'm saying?
Lots.
You live for today. And tomorrow is never guaranteed. So come to rock and roll night, okay? We need you there, and it doesn't happen without rock and rollers like you. So, we love you. Hope to see you there. Doors at 7, show at 8. I think it's 21 and over, and Forgiving Tree goes on kind of late. So come on out. Rock and roll with us. We're going to party with you. So that's Friday, May 17th at 8. You got it. Carry on. Anything else we got to say? I do this every time. I drag this shit out. I know. Ty, I'm glad you're feeling better, dude. Try to get, a little less busy so you can, A, recoup, and B, maybe get some more open mics in, man. Because I know you're just itching for it. So
I mean, I'm buying a car at the start of June, so it's about to get really insane. So
shit's about to change. That's great, dude. I'm happy for you. That's cool. Way to go. Proud of you, dude. What are you looking at?
Yeah, thank you. A hybrid, one of them cheap gas guzzlers.
Okay.
Or not gas guzzlers, gas sippers.
Non-gas guzzlers.
All right. If you get a Prius and have any questions, we'll just call my dad. Okay.
Right.
So, we'll get my dad on as a special guest.
He loves Prii.
On principle, I can't. I've talked too much crap to my sister. I would never live it down. She'd bring it all back.
That's how I feel about Teslas. I couldn't. I've talked so much shit,
However, have you seen the Cybertruck on the road?
Yes, I saw one on Manchester Road earlier. Surprised, didn't they recall all of those or whatever? But yeah, they're the ugliest fucking things I've ever seen, honestly.
Is that the thing that kind of looks like a spaceship or some weirdness?
Dude.
Oh, I did see one of those on Manchester.
Right? I thought they recalled
I didn't know what
those.
the hell that was. Obviously a car. I'm not that dumb.
No, sure, but it's all silver.
Yeah.
And the windows look all tinted out,
Does it have a really weird body shape too? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's really strange looking.
Box.
Yeah.
With weird angles, like a triangle on the front or something goofy. So thanks, Elon Musk, All right, let's pause it there. My computer looks like it's about to do some weird shit. I love you, Ty. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Hey, Ty, it was good talking to you.
It was good seeing you again as well.
Shout out all the mamas out there. We love you. Man, love and respect. Till next time, guys. We'll be back.